Well, what's going on, guys? So ever since I gambled that Necro circlet, I wanted to make a Necro, and right now I'm at level 90, and I wanted to share my current Corpse Explosion Necro build. So starting off here with the stats, it's pretty straightforward. Just enough strength to use my spirit, which I'm using as my shield, and the rest in vitality. So no dex and no energy. Despite the fact that this build uses a lot of mana with teleporting and Corpse Explosion and probably Bone Spear as well. So these are the stats. I have 263% Magic Find right now. And the gear that I'm using, and again, this is kind of, aside from the Enigma and the circlet I found, Coronet I found, pretty basic gear. So starting off, I'm using Bone Shade, which is isted for some extra magic find, but it gives me the faster cast I need, 2 to Necro skills, and then also Bone Spear and extra stats to the Bone Spear synergies. I forgot to mention the gear that I'm using gets me to that 125% faster cast rate breakpoint, which is why I'm using a lot of faster cast gear. So Bone Shade, this is the reason I made this Necro to begin with. 2 to Necro skills, faster run walk, faster cast. The 23 strength allows me to put more vitality into my build with my attribute points. And then I just isted it for more magic find. This random amulet I found, I mean, there's a lot of other amulets that are better, just what I'm using for poison and bone skills. Enigma, which I kind of swap between my barbarian and my my necromancer, so I don't have to make 2 of them. And pretty straightforward for the all skills. The teleport, obviously, for the necromancer, the strength, and magic find. Also, the life after each kill really helps when you really don't need to use health potions. You just explode all the corpses, especially in high density areas. Spirit for the resist and the faster cast, as well as the all skills. Mage Fist for the regenerate mana and faster cast. An Angel Ring for magic find. A Rax for skills and faster cast. Another faster cast ring, and or more faster cast with this faster cast ring, and this these random boots just for magic find. Ward traps would be better, but just what I'm using, what I found. I have a Geeds, a pretty poor Necro Torch, and an Annie. Obviously, for this build to be much better, I would probably stack up with more magic find and or poison and bone skill grand charms for more damage. Right now it's doing level 38, about 3600 to 3800 approximately damage. Being that I attack so quickly, it's really an awesome skill to have. And then a bunch of just like magic find charms I found, resist charms in my inventory. The mercenary gear, I mean, again, I just need the insight for the meditation aura. My mercenary is not really needed to kill things, more so just to keep me regenerating mana more quickly. So there's a lot better items you can get for your fortitude. You can get Andy's Visage. But this is what's worked for me, because I kill monsters so quickly, it really doesn't matter to me all that much. But there's always room for upgrades for sure. So finally here we have the skills. So what I did was just put 1 into each of these skills in the summoning tree, just so I could have 6 mages, 6 skeletons, and 14 revives. And then I use Fire Golem. A lot of people use Iron Golem because it lasts longer. You don't have to keep recasting it. But I mean, again, Corpse Explosion does most of my damage, so I'm not too worried about that. Here's where the majority of the skills go. So I max Bone Spear, max Bone Wall, Bone Spirit, and Bone Prison, just because those are the synergies. And as I level up, I'll put more points into Bone Prison. And as I mentioned before, level 38 Bone Spear. That's how I get my initial corpses, and then I just use Corpse Explosion, which has a radius of 8.3 yards. And then finally, amplify damage, just 1 point. So basically, run up to mobs, amplify damage, Bone Spear, and I'll show that in a second with the different areas I like to farm in. But these are the stats, skills, and gear that I'm currently using. So if you have any questions on that, feel free to leave a comment below. But now on to the magic find areas I like to take my Necro to. Alright, so the first place I like to go with my Necro is Ancient Tunnels. And it's easy to use amplified damage 1 or 2 times. And then probably kill 1 or 2 mobs with the Bone Spear, and then just Corpse Explosion. It's like pretty much a chain reaction from there. So I have on my hotkey F5 for the amplified damage, and then I switch over to F6 for the explosion, and then F7 then teleport around, and I pretty much repeat this process with each group of monsters that I teleport to. Stony Tombs is also a good one. I haven't really found anything great, but it's an I level 85 area, and they have pretty high density too. But Chaos runs, Diablo runs are pretty much, I would say, on par with Worldstone Keep. Because you have not only these like super uniques that spawn, but there's also a good amount going from River of Flame. And you can see here with Bone Spear, level 38, it just melts Diablo. Act 5, I like to do Eldritch. Pretty quick there, and also Shank, because it's like 1 second away. And you can see with the 125% faster cast how quickly you could cast Bone Spear and Corpse Explosion, teleport, everything that the Necro needs to kill monsters fast. Pindle is another good one. There's also a trick with all these dead monsters. If you want to just get some quick summons before they revive and start marching towards you, you could just turn their corpses into skeletons or revives, or you could just wait for them to spawn after you kill Pindle and then just amplify them and then Corpse Explosion them down in a couple seconds. So as I mentioned, Worldstone Keep is a good one. I also like to do Worldstone Keep level 1, so I do 1, 2, 3, and then I do the Throne. And I've had some decent luck with that. Not only good uniques, but also bases, such as 3 Open Socket, Arcane Plates. I found a 15% ED Mage Plate, which I traded for a low rune, because that's an Enigma base right there. And you can see how quick these mobs die. So just repeat the process, amplify damage, get a few corpses with the Bone Spear, and then just 1 or 2 Corpse Explosions, Rexes. I made a 100 pit video before, so that's another great place to run the Necro. I just didn't include it in this one because I already did 100 runs, so. But that is another good place to farm. And even with these waves, you could see how quickly they melt. It's 1 amplify damage, and then I think Bale is my hardest challenge because of the mana steal. But Bone Spear level 38 is still pretty solid against them. So there's really no area that aside from like doing Mephisto runs, like the high density areas, this Necro is great. And also cows. I mean, that's probably one of the most high density locations. So many cows, and you can kill them so quickly. I still think the Javazon's quicker, but it's cool to see, all the cows just drop with 1 or 2 Corpse Explosions when you have amplified damage on them. But overall, yeah, that's the build. I'm happy with what I've accomplished so far, and If you guys have any questions or comments, as always, feel free to leave a comment below, or if you have any suggestions for future videos, same thing. And thanks for watching.